Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today we're down in Hawaii. Flying the Cirrus SR22. We're going from Lihue on Kahului Island in the northwest. Headed southeast down to Kahului Airport on the island of Maui. It's going to be right about an hour flight, 175 miles, going at 21,000 feet. Climb aboard and let's go flying. Alright, there we are, loaded in behind the hangar. And, we're taking the plane with the, orchids or whatever, the tropical flowers, just to fit the tropical scenery. Doesn't make much sense to fly a plane like that in Alaska, but down here in Hawaii or French Polynesia, sure. I actually, the first time I selected it, I thought it was just like an all-white paint scheme, because in the preview, when you go to choose your plane, you can't actually see the wingtips and stuff. And I just loaded it up and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't see all this before. But at the time I think I was doing like a flight around Bora Bora or Tahiti or something like that, and I said, what a perfectly fitting plane for that kind of area. So, I don't know, I just like it. Anyway, let's go ahead, get set up here. Battery switches on. Let's go ahead and set the autopilot up real quick. CDI set to GPS, going at 21,000 feet, so let's set that on the altitude. FLC will set to 110. Nav on, VNav on. Let's go ahead and grab the weather here at Kahului, or Lihue real quick. Checking something out real quick. Alright, 050 at 15 knot wind. Ha! And it seems like it's actually stronger than that. Our airspeed indicator is showing. Look at the prop! The wind is actually spinning the prop a little bit. What? Showing 22 to 23 knots. So the wind may very well be, in fact, stronger than this is showing. Anyway, 10 miles, visibility, few clouds at 2,000, overcast at 4,700. 28 Celsius, 30.17, so we'll actually need to change that there. Alright, let's go ahead and turn the strobe lights on. Looks like everything is set up as we need it. Alright. Clear left, clear right. Let's go ahead and start. Magneto's engaged. I don't know why the mixture started in the rich. Usually should start back down here, but we'll cycle it. Fall rich. Boost pump. Throttle forward. Close it, but then we'll bump it just a little bit forward here. And one more check, the propeller is still turning in the wind. Alright, clear! Alright, oil pressure is up into the green immediately. Temperature is beginning to rise a little bit. Battery amperage is showing yellow. There's a drain. Alternator switch is on. Now it goes up. We can go ahead and turn the avionics. And let's go ahead real quick and lean the mixture for peak RPM. Usually ends up being somewhere below 3 gallons. Nope. That's gonna be it right there. Throttle is jumping again. Definitely something going on there. Alright, power's idle. Nav lights on. Leave those off. We're getting ready to taxi. We should be good. Right up here ahead. One more time, clear left, clear right. We are good to go ahead and start taxiing. Release the brake. Alright, there's a way we can go. So we're gonna want runway 3. And we have a couple ways we can get there. We can follow this way and go out on the taxiway, or we can go that way. Let's just go this way. Boy. There's a bus. You know what that means. We should be able to squeeze by it right here. Yeah, there we go. Never trust the vehicles in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, man. The throttle jumped again when I try to pull it to idle. Kind of just starting to get on my nerves. I'm really going to have to figure out what's going on with this. Couple hangars, generic buildings. I need to get some updated scenery for the major airports in Hawaii. That would include Honolulu, which theirs is okay. This one's pretty bare bones. There's some stuff. Definitely could use some improvements. Kahului's is actually pretty decent. I believe Kona on the Big Island is all well done. Hilo, not so much. I think Kona is actually handcrafted. Yeah, the 6 main commercial airports. Lihue, Kahului, Honolulu. Actually, there's only 5. Kona and Hilo. And then they have several smaller airports, of course. Molokai, Lanai, Hana, Kapalua, Kohala. And then I think they have one down by Kilauea on the Big Island or something, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, just as much flying as I mean, lately I've been doing mostly Alaska, but starting out I did a lot of French Polynesia and then a fair bit of Hawaii stuff too. And for as much as the Hawaiian Islands are popular and have some great routes, it'd be really nice to have some nice scenery for the airports around here. We do the island hopping and stuff. Alright, here we are, holding short runway 3 at the end. Park and brake is set. Let's go ahead and do a run up. So we're going to go full power. We're going to go power up to 1700 RPM. We actually need to go mixture full rich. I forgot that. Mixture always goes full rich when you do the run up. Good right there. Let's go ahead and do a mag check first. To the right mag. Good. Back to both. Now the left. Back to both. Now let's do electrical check. Landing lights, ice light, pitot heat on, and no drainage for the battery. Voltage is good. We can turn those 2 off. We'll leave the landing light on since we get ready for departure here. Engine instruments are all in the green, no warnings, errors, cautions, so the park and brake doesn't count. Alright, yeah, we are good to go ahead down to idle power. Now, we always do the mag checks to make sure that those are operating correctly. If you got a drop that was a little bit too strong, or too much, what you do is just increase the power, burn the magnetos off a little bit, and then that should basically just put the engine at higher power, close to full power, and just let it run to kind of burn the magnetos a little bit, and that should fix it. If it doesn't, then you've got something wrong. If there's a major drop way over what it's supposed to be, then there's something wrong. If it doesn't drop at all, it's improperly grounded and you can't fly. So that's why we always check both, one at a time. And if one magneto has a stronger drop than the other, there may be something wrong. Not always necessarily, but it would have to be checked out. So that's why we do that. Alright, mixture's full rich. Landing light is on. Let's make sure our trim is set for takeoff. Make sure the autopilot works properly.
Engaging autopilot.
Good. Let's check the flight controls. Rudder is good. Ailerons are good. And elevator. I said that backward. Elevator's good. Ailerons are good. Alright, back into the cockpit. And let's see. VNAV, nav are on. FLC is set. Final altitude 21,000. Alright. We can release the park and brake and let's go ahead taxi out onto the runway. Takeoff procedure is going to be the same as normal. 77 knots will rotate. Lift off in the low 80s. 800 feet up. We'll be out over the water at 800 feet. So at that point we can engage the autopilot. Alright, here we are lined up runway 3. Let's go full power. Oh. We gotta reject. Got that indicator, takeoff flaps, so I guess I forgot to set the flaps. We usually do that when we check the flight controls, and I totally just slipped my mind to set the flaps. Alright, well we do a rejected takeoff like that, not a real big deal. Brakes may get a little hot. Depending on how far we went down, we have the option of turning back, taxiing back, and just make sure everything's okay. But on these planes you don't really have to worry about the brakes overheating, especially if we were only going, I think, about 50 knots. So we can actually, let me just hold the brakes here for a moment. We can actually just take back off from where we're at. So let's go ahead, release the brakes. Slowly go up to full power. Everything should be good now. Airspeed's alive, engine instruments are looking good. No warnings, cautions, anything. We're actually airborne at about 73 or 4, because the wind helped us out a little bit there. Alright, we do have positive rate. A little breezy up here. Let's go flaps up. We're looking for about 84 to 85 knots. To 90 we'll start accelerating, we lower the nose. Nice view of the airport. There's the hangar that we started in front of. View of the town of Lihue. We can go ahead and turn on course. We're at 900 feet. Actually, we gained altitude faster than we were out over the water. That was a steep turn. Don't normally want it to turn that steep. No big deal. Let's engage the autopilot. Let go of the stick, it should fix itself. Alright, landing light can come off. Let's grab a quick look outside. There's the airport, there's a golf course, there's a resort right there. I hope you like airplanes, because if you don't, the noise may get kind of irritating. I don't know. Probably wouldn't bother me. So, the island of Kauai. Got some canyons on the backside. Some cliffs. Flat area here. Lihue is the second largest town on the island, I believe. Kapa'a, up ahead, is the largest town. And Kauai, compared to the other major islands, is relatively small. It's smaller than Oahu, smaller than Maui. Back here, I believe, is the island of Lihue. And if we turn and look on course, you can already start to see the island of Oahu back here. When we get up to 21,000 feet, we'll definitely see it better. Let's go ahead and turn on our light display here in just a moment. Okay, there we go. Of course, ETA is going to be off. I set it. I don't know why it's showing up. I set it to activate passing 18,000 feet, but oh well. A little bit of a headwind here, but it looks like it shifts and we may end up with a bit of a tailwind a little bit further in. Alright, let's go ahead and do, let's do climb checklist stuff. So that's all good. 16, so we're plenty fine. Alright. Gonna go ahead and do the... Yeah, we'll go ahead and do the full power climb. Lean to the bottom of the green, which isn't going to be much, just a little bit here. Right about there. Zoom out on this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. There's Lihue, where we took off. Of course, the island of Kauai. Our route today is taking us right over Oahu. So I'll be able to see... These are a couple different bases. A lot of military activity here on Oahu. Is this Dillingham Fields? Yep. That's funny. There's Dillingham, Hawaii, and a Dillingham, Alaska. That is Wheeler Army Airfield, Kaneohe, Marine Corps Station, Ford Island, and Kalailoa. And then, of course, this is Honolulu's main airport. We fly over the island of Molokai, right over Molokai's main airport on the island. Yeah, Kaunakakai, the town, and then Kapalua Airport. No, sorry, Kalaupapa Airport. We'll see to the left. We'll fly over Kapalua, that's that one right there, in Maui. And then Kahului, our destination here. So we'll actually get a pretty good view. We'll be able to see probably all 8 main islands in in Hawaii. When we saw Kauai, of course we took off from there. We saw Niihau out in the distance. Oahu, Molokai, Lanai will be off our right. Kahului, and of course we're landing on Maui. And we'll probably be able to see the big island in the distance. So, good view of the Hawaiian Islands today. 9 Celsius up here at 10,000 feet. And the wind is shifting as we climb. And we just little by little continue to lean the mixture. Good rule of thumb is about every 5,000 feet readjust the mixture. But of course we need to keep the arrow at the bottom of the green. So we're looking pretty good here. I do enjoy these Hawaii flights. There are fewer destinations, so for doing real island hopping, you know, probably the Cirrus, maybe the Diamond for shorter routes, like if we went from like the Big Island to Maui, would be an option. Cub Crafters planes would probably do pretty well on kind of flying around the islands. Maybe you do some scenic flights in the Cub Crafters planes. Same with French Polynesia. There's just not a lot of airports, but it is very beautiful. So you can island hop, you can do scenic flights. So maybe we'll kind of expand and do some of that. Alaska definitely has become, I guess I would say, my favorite place to fly. Let's go ahead and turn the pitot heat on. 4 Celsius. What did the flight plan say the temperature? At 21,000 feet, the temperature is expected to be minus 12 Celsius. Okay. But yeah, anyway, I've really taken a loving to flying up in Alaska. I mean, there are so many different places. Absolutely beautiful scenery, although, you know, the scenery here is beautiful in its own way. But I just love the tall mountain peaks, the pine trees. But yeah, we do have a ton of options. All around. Let's grab a look back out here. And yeah, the clouds are kind of building up. Yeah, so Kauai is back here. Oh yeah, you can see it. There's Niihau. Right there. There's a ton of ocean out that way. And you'll see Oahu over here. It looks like it's mostly clouded over out that way towards some of the islands. Yeah, it does. In fact, yeah, the weather's showing not too great over most of Oahu. Although it does look like it gets better around Molokai, and the weather at Maui should be pretty decent as well. go back into the cockpit here. By 16,000, do we need to lean the mixture again? Yeah. Maybe a tiny bit. Alright, passing 18,000 feet, we can go ahead and set standard pressure. So there we go. Halfway point for our flight today looks like it is going to be just about when we pass over the edge of or no, actually no. It's basically going to be a beam Honolulu. Yeah, when we're at Beam Honolulu Airport, that is the halfway point for us. So, okay. Fuel imbalance already. Let's go ahead and switch the tanks. Only burned 8.7 and it's supposed to be 9, so I don't know if that's... I don't know, that'll clear relatively quickly. Just as we burn fuel on the other side. Getting bumped around a little bit. Get ready to start leveling off here. Alright, that cleared, and yeah, we're leveling off. Yeah, we kind of have a tailwind. A quartering tailwind, in fact. Well, let's go ahead and reduce the power. 30.5, yep, about there. Lean the mixture, looking for peak power. Should be right around 20 per gallon. Yep. 20 per gallon is the magic number today. And we're still bumping around through here, and I don't know why. Let me disengage the autopilot and see if it's still... Yeah, it does.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright, we'll engage it. That's clear air turbulence, I guess. It's gonna be annoying to deal with that the whole time. But yeah, the winds are kind of jumping all over the place. 223 over the ground, though. That's not bad.
Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna let it up. Tonight, we gonna let it up. Just like the sunrise, we gonna light it up.
Yeah, 227 over the ground is, it's pretty nice. Minus 13 Celsius up here at altitude, so that's about pretty close to what was predicted. Just kind of wish it'd stop bouncing around a little bit. I wonder if it would be worth going higher, but the thing is, we're gonna have to descend. Pretty much once we get abeam Honolulu. Maybe a little further out. Or, well, I should say maybe further along, closer to Kahului. Just planning ahead, though. I highly doubt we're going to be able to get the weather for. Yeah, still 130 miles away. That's, yeah, there's no way. We'll try picking it up once we get to the halfway point. And that may still be too far away. Say 21,994. That doesn't seem totally right because we're at 21,000. And the altimeter settings, that would say we would add about 250 feet to that probably. So there's got to be some sort of a disconnect. With what's being displayed. That altitude doesn't sound correct. But oh well, not a real big deal. Yeah, almost the entire island is clouded over. Well, it's mildly frustrating because we're not going to get as good of a view as it would be hoping for. If you look in the distance, yeah, okay. You can see a couple of the islands. It's the big island in the distance. Nope. No! This is Maui right here. The taller mountain and the smaller mountain. And the big island is just way in the distance. It's faint, but it's visible. Kind of things right here. So that's the big island. So Maui's over here. That would be Molokai. Lanai should be here. Kahului there. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's all the Hawaiian Islands. And then Oahu, of course, right below us. Now we're just passing over the westernmost point of the island. And if we turn and look back, we should still be able to see Kauai. Maybe not. Looks like maybe it's clouded over too, so. Oh well. Let's grab a look outside and see what we can pick up down. Okay, yeah, here's a little bit. So this is the western tip visible? Not really. Maybe? That looks like Dillingham Airfield. Okay, little break in the clouds. So let's see what we can pick out. There's Kalailoa. So Honolulu should be over this way, but it looks like the clouds are kind of blocking that a bit. Man. Never see just little bits and pieces of the island kind of, you know, below the few breaks in the clouds around here. I mean, all these airports are reporting kind of crummy weather. Oh, they changed the name of Dillingham Airfield to Kawaihapai. That sounds fun. What was formerly Dillingham? But Wheeler is showing overcast. Kaneohe, Kalailoa, and Honolulu are all showing broken, so yeah. And it does look like it gets a little better over Molokai. Lanai is showing overcast. Or Lanai. I'll explain that in a second. Maui's showing good weather. The big island broken. So, Lanai is a patio, or a name for like a patio or a balcony. Lanai is the name of the island. Those apostrophes mean there's just a break, like you stop the airflow as you pronounce the word. Imagine if I broke up the word pronounce. It would be like saying pronounce. Kind of like that. Except it's It just sounds really weird in English, but in Hawaiian it makes sense. Alright, there's the halfway point. And can't see it from here, but if we look outside, can we see... Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of clearing. There's Honolulu Airport right there. And then... Yeah, look at that. There's Honolulu itself. Famous Waikiki Beach. Maybe get a view of Diamond Head. Right now it's kind of covered up. But you can take a look at the ridge here. And then here's the North Shore. Kaneohe should be somewhere around here. Maybe a little further back, maybe here or there. Tough to tell at the moment. Yeah, but the interesting thing about Oahu is it's... Ooh. Get the wide angle view. You kind of get the ridge, comes up right like that, and then around. And it's not like where it's just a rising central mountain, like on the Big Island, Maui. Even Kauai is like that. I hope we'll get a bit of a view of Diamond Head here in a bit. Here it is. That must be Kaneohe right there. Nice good bit of stuff to look at. Alright, let's go back into the cockpit for a few minutes. Showing about 21 minutes remaining. So we'll probably need to start our descent soon. Let's grab the weather at Kahului if we can. Not available. Oh, you know what? There's a way. We'll go into the map and click on the airport. 2354. 060 at 25, gusting to 38 knots. That is a ridiculously strong wind. Peak wind 060 at 38, gust. Nope. The wind gust was 38. That was at 2352. So what that means... That was a report from about 46 minutes ago. So maybe the winds are going to settle down. They could be worse. I don't know. Two options. We can set up for runway 2, which is longer, or runway 5, which will be a more direct headwind. And I think that's probably the safer bet. So let's go into here, take a look at approach, and let's try to set something up for runway 5. Visual is the only option. Alright, let's take a look where it's on the map. It sets us up to go out, around, curve in. What we need to do is set a GPS track to straight. And that's going to be on the mountain, so we're going to have to actually probably fly around, come in and intercept that way. Or set up for runway 2. So what we'll do is actually set, and yeah, it's going to tell us top of descent here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and get started down. Let's just set 10,000 for right now. 9,000 works. I think the minimum safe would be, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000. Somewhere probably between there. Let's just make sure we have VNAV on. It is. FLC we won't need to worry about. See if we can grab a view of Diamond's Head. Or Diamond Head, I should say. Nah, it's covered up by clouds. That kind of sucks. That's a pretty remarkable view to have. A little more clearing of Oahu back there. Molokai, the western end, the eastern end. So here is Kalaupapa, town there in the little airports. Molokai's main airport is over here, the town of Kaunakakai. That sits back over this way. In the distance we have West Maui, East Maui. So the airport that we're going to, Kahului, sits right between the two in the little valley here. Lanai is covered up by clouds, and Kahului, I think, is just this little bit back here. And then the big island is right back here, and it even is starting to get covered up in clouds. Alright, so we've started descending. We actually need to go ahead and pull back on power. We're a little fast, so I'm going to take this power out just to get us slowed back down. And then once we get to about 160, usually have a power of right about 35 knots will be good. Or 35 knots, 35%. If we continue descending or decelerating, we can bump it forward just another tiny bit there. About 37% should be good right there. Should have a good descent rate. Our descent rate will be steady, but we should be able to keep a steady speed there. Let's try to grab the weather now. Yeah, no updates. The time, it's not time yet. It probably will update in the next 10 minutes. Do need to get the altimeter though. 3009. Let's go ahead and set that. Okay. And we don't need to wait until we're below 18,000 to set that. Because we know that we will be descending through. Now, if we got told to level off at 18,000, we would keep standard. Until we did actually go below that or begin to descend. But on the way down, we can set it early. The thing is, you still wait to change it until you're actually starting to descend. Because if you set it while you're still level in cruise before you begin your descent, the plane will actually lower or climb a couple, depending on how much different it was from standard. It can be 10, 20 feet, it can be a couple hundred, it can be even, in some cases, close to 1,000, depending on what the pressure is indicating. Showing about another 15 minutes we'll be on the ground. Let's actually bump the power up a little more. Right about there should be pretty good. The temperature over here is 1 Celsius at 15,000 feet. Wow. Begin a couple descent items here. Altimeter is set. You can turn the pitot heat off once it gets above 5 Celsius. Mixture doesn't need to be enriched. We left the fuel pump on the whole flight. That's okay. Because what it does is help suppress vapors. So, I mean, I guess you can shut it off if it isn't really needed, but there's no harm in letting it run, and it'll actually continue to help suppress any vapor that does form. It's just a lot less vapors are expected to form at colder temperatures. We'll leave it on. Don't need to enrich in the mixture yet, just as long as we keep within the green. Alright, we do need to pull back on the power back down to about 37% or so. Yeah, about there. Maybe even a little more. Maybe about there. And we're still getting bumped around by the winds, and the winds have actually shifted. Kind of all over the place. And I'll be happy when it isn't so bumpy. Let's take a look outside quick. So there's Molokai. The town of Kaunakakai. Kalaupapa is back here. And the western portion of Molokai is relatively flat. Does rise up a tiny bit, I think, kind of over here. But then the eastern side gets very rugged, very tall. There's beautiful sea cliffs on the northern coast of the island. When you look back, you can just barely see Lanai. It's totally overcast there. And Maui up ahead. Probably should have updated weather in the next couple minutes, so I'll be watching for that. I'll be very interested to see what the weather is. The plane's still shaking thanks to those really stiff, kind of unstable crosswinds aloft, although no, I was gonna say it looks like it's kind of settling down, but it isn't. Alright, what we're gonna do, set a heading, because we're gonna have to navigate around the shore of this island. So let's, if we did 120, even 115, because the wind will push us. Let's do that. Let's go ahead, set the heading, activate vector to final, and we can just adjust some more from there, if needed. Should continue us on the descent rate that we need, as long as it stays stable. See if the updated weather's come in. May or may not have. It has not. Okay. We'll give it a couple more minutes, because certainly it will before we reach the ground. And we're really going to need to know what the wind is doing. And it was a good thing to choose Hawaii for our flight tonight, because the weather in Alaska has taken a turn for the worse in most places. I thought of doing another Alaska flight. But most places, not counting the interior, it's clouded over, it's raining. Just not particularly good. So Hawaii, I think, was, well, I would say it's the better choice, but I mean, it is, but it's kind of a bummer that we've had so much get clouded over. Barely even see Lanai, just a tiny bit underneath the clouds there in front of the wing. Alright, there is 9,000 feet. So we're probably going to want to go ahead and continue down. So what we'll do is set the FLC, crank the altitude down, didn't want to come on. And we can actually raise that back to 150. Let's just maintain 150. So remember, when VNAV takes over, the descent rate is constant, and we use the throttle to control our airspeed. Now it's reversed. We're using the FLC, so our airspeed is constant, and we use the throttle to control our descent rate. I'm checking, really hoping that we can pick up some updated weather here. There it is. 050 at 25, gusting to 35. So the upside is that it is going to be straight down the runway if it doesn't shift. 28 Celsius, 30.07. This is going to be a tough landing, though. I'm going to do my best. You can't not do your best. But this is definitely going to be one of the tougher landings and approaches that we've done, with the wind being as strong as it is. Small planes. I'm thinking of, for example, this lean or the even the Cub crafters. If you set the flaps down, all you'll have to do is put full power and take off into the wind, and you'll get airborne almost immediately. Alright, let's get ready to do a couple more descent items here. Let's first zoom in on the map so we can see a little more. Course looks like it should be pretty good. Of course, we'll get the indicator of terrain as we approach. Still above everything over here. Oh, touch of green just started showing up. Let's go ahead and turn the landing light on. Let's switch to fuel tanks. Boost pump is on. Do we need to enrich it? No, we're okay. But we will when we get set up on final items. We'll check all of that. So we continue flying over. And we're just gonna fly to try to intercept the course far out. We want to get as smoothly transitioned and established onto the final approach course as we can. That'll take our workload off, and we can get set up to fly the approach, and all of our attention can just be focused at flying the plane and controlling it for the smoothest possible approach and landing. Get kind of a cool view over here, though. If you take a look, here is Lihue, Kahului coast, Kahului airport's over there, and then the town is up there. So, pretty view of the West Maui volcano, and a little bit of gorges or canyons. Molokai, of course, Lanai, all right down here. Just look at how heavy the cloud cover is. You can barely see the island here. Good luck flying into there. Let me take a look over here. Continue to descend over the water. We should be able to go all the way down to... Let's go to 2,500. Actually, no. You know what? That is not going to be an option. So we're going to raise it to 3,000. And yeah, we're going to have to fly around because the terrain rises higher. Further east than I thought it would. Now on this heading, we're just going to go straight out over the water. But we cannot turn... yeah, we can't turn in because look at the terrain. Rises too far up. Alright, pitot heat can come off. I guess we can turn the landing line off. Well, no, let's leave it on, because that way we don't have to worry to remember to turn it on. Boost pump. Level off at, 3,000. Zoom in a little more. We're being pushed by the wind a little bit. Now we can do that. Add a little bit of power in. We're at about 70%. And what we'll have to do, this is going to add a fair bit of time. That's alright, I mean it happens. What we'll do is fly out until we can turn in. And we'll fly up along, intercept the final course, and descend into the airport. It's kind of neat though, because we get to fly. Oh, look at that! Wow! What a view! That is the island of Kahului over there. If you look up ahead, it's Haleakala, which is the East Maui volcano. Look at the windmills. And Big Island's mostly covered up by clouds, but you can kind of see it out here in the distance. You can just barely make out Molokini Crater. I actually went snorkeling there. It's pretty neat. It's shaped like a crescent. And it's really shallow, like in the middle, kind of like a ball. And then on the back side it drops basically from the top of the crater. Which is a couple hundred feet up in the air, and it drops basically vertically down to about 800 feet underwater, down to the ocean floor. We're actually almost setting up for runway 2, but I think we want to stick with runway 5, so what we can go ahead and do, we could have cut that corner a little bit. Let's turn to a 360 heading. Keeping our power in right here is actually working out pretty well. Oh, we're set up on final for runway 2. And now let's go ahead and descend another 2,000 feet. Or descend to 2,000 feet. Leave the FLC where it's at. Pull the power back. We're gonna get a good view of the town of Kahului, though. Back out over that way is cool. You get to see Lihue, which is the town kind of right behind our right wing. And if you turn back this way and look, some more resorts, Wailea, Makena, a couple other cool places there. Let's take more power out, actually, descend a little bit more. We can probably go all the way down to 1500.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day.
Let's take the power out completely.
People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds chirping,
And just look at this, the green is kind of coming in, closing over all the black.
grasping into life.
That's pretty cool.
Life is happy, but
As it,
it's
you can just see how low the terrain right through here is where they connect.
Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world.
Take the power out. We're going to start dropping airspeed pretty fast. We can actually put the first notch of flaps in. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll add some power here. Mixture needs to go full rich at this time. Let's see, landing light is on. Boost pump. Yeah, I think we are good to go. We're gonna hand fly the approach anyway.
Lions gunning,
Let's disengage the autopilot. Yeah, we went through the final approach course.
clouds have just begun.
No big deal.
Always take
Got time to correct.
for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when
Want to stay just a little bit high. Just a tiniest bit.
we stand. Let's go
Come back around here.
trees were
Beautiful view of the town. Or city.
across the land.
Look at that. Looks like there's a school, the football stadium. Bunch of houses, shops. There's a mall. People surf in this bay right here, just off to our left, kind of ahead of the nose.
Let's all take a ride. Savannah,
Alright, we're slow enough we can go full flaps. We're high. In fact, we're not even descending at this point. Wind is straight down the runway. Let's try to get our descent down a little bit. Yeah, we're pretty high, but we're gonna try not to go around if we can avoid it. Yeah, there we go. We're starting to get it back. We're still pretty high. This is what we have to be careful for. 'Cause that wind is getting wild. That was a gust right there. 27, 28, 29. Now we need to put some power in though because we're getting low. We may have to go around, and I'm trying my best to avoid it, but we may not have a choice. It's not a stall. We're going way above stall speed with full flaps. I mean, how? Oh man, this is bumpy though. Showing about 25, 26. we gotta add some power. Now, we got kind of low there. We probably would realistically go around. I mean, this is ridiculous. I wouldn't voluntarily fly in any kind of these wind conditions here. Just kind of picks you up and just floating. I mean, we're gaining 34 knots over the runway. Right, nice and easy down. We've got runway to work with, but not a whole lot. Minus 44. Wow. That was a lot better than I thought it would be. Alright, flaps up so we don't get picked up by the wind. We're only doing 22 knots over the ground. We got dangerously low there when he put the power back in. And we had the right airspeed, but we just started getting real low there. Power up, because we gotta get past this hold bar. I'll clear the runway until we're past that bar. Alright, now we are. So let's stop here, let's zoom in on the map and figure out where we need to go. Check the airport diagram real quick here. Wow. We're actually close. Okay. So we'll taxi ahead and take the first left. Look at those views, though. Wow. That's pretty cool. Alright, we're going to make the left turn right here. We're going to cross runway 2. Really? And all the vehicles driving across these taxiways and runways and stuff. Really? It's crazy vehicles. I can't go anywhere with this guy. There. Alright, let's cross here. And then our parking is going to be on that ramp just over there. We'll have a view of the tower. But yeah, the Kahului airport is modeled pretty nicely. Wow, looking at 30 knots across there. Alright, we're clear of that runway. And we'll park right over here on this ramp. Park over here next to this plane. Alright, parking brake is set. Or no, it's not. Brakes are held, parking brake is now set. Flaps are up, mixture is full forward. Power, leave here for a second. Let's go ahead, turn the landing lights off. Nav lights. Strobe lights stay on. Let's turn the avionics off. Alternator switches off. Let's cut the mixture. Hour and 3 minutes. Yeah, took a little bit longer since we had to go around the back side of that mountain there. That's okay. And battery switches are off. Oh, magneto's off first. Silence that. Battery off. Strobes off. here we are outside the cockpit. Alright folks, well welcome to Maui, the Kahului airport. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Thanks for flying with me, and hope to have you aboard on the next one. And as always, until then, take care, stay safe, we'll see ya.